Welcome to Sears Point International Raceway in Sonoma, California. This is the 12th annual running of the Autolite Nationals, and this racetrack has seen 320-mile-an-hour action this weekend in quest for over $1.2 million in cash, a cash purse of over $500,000. You couple the contingency money with it, and it gets to be big bucks. Hi, everybody. I'm Dave McClellan. This is Shelley Anderson. She is a 5-time Top Fuel champion. She's been working with us throughout this season. And here at Sears Point, the weather is playing a key role. Today, probably hotter than it's been all 3 days of this event, Shelley.
That's what makes it exciting. And in the second round of Top Fuel, we already saw the first round. We've got 8 of the winners in the top 10 in points. And that's, 7 of the 8 winners are in the top 10 in points, and that's exciting.
This points chase this year has been remarkable. Right now, Mike Dunn is holding on to an ultra-slim lead of only 22 points coming into this event. He will have to face the #1 qualifier, Bob Vandergriff, in round number 2 action. It'll be Doug Coletta, who had a great 4:59 in the first round, up against Corey McLenithan, who ran 4:61. Kenny Bernstein challenges Tony Schumacher in the battle of the Speed Demons, and reigning Winston champ Gary Scelzi goes off against Jim Head in with a repaired car after yesterday's crash. On paper, the first pair of cars in Top Fuel Eliminator round number 2 should be a walkover for that car. The Team Winston entry driven by Gary Scelzi. On paper, he went 4:64 when he defeated Larry Dixon in the first round. His opponent is Jim Head. Head, of course, with his vehicle that he prepared overnight after that disastrous crash yesterday in qualifying, and only a 4:78. But these are conditions that are totally different than the first round.
That 78 was really good when you think he hadn't had a run on this car put together yesterday. I thought that was a great safe run, and maybe he'll give Scelzi a run for the money.
But Scelzi, with the much quicker elapsed time in the first round, has to be the favorite. Won't say it's a walkover by any chance, but certainly he's got the advantage to go by previous numbers. Previous numbers. Jim Head, the luck riding with him. He went up in smoke first, then Gary Scelzi lost traction, and it was Head getting back on the throttle and couple out best.
This was a smart driver. Jim Head smoked the tires about 40 feet out. Look at, he shut it off. He almost gave up. You saw him off of the throttle for a long time, and then saw Gary Scelzi go up and smoke. He wasn't expecting that. Got back on the throttle, recovered, and won the race. He was out a long way.
When you get back on the throttle, though, you got to be kind of careful because you can spin the tires again.
When it's that calm, it's better, actually, but you won't go as quick recovering if you haven't pedaled it quickly.
So the times, a 5:15 winning effort for Head. Gary Scelzi at a 5:61. Let's go down to the starting line. Here's Bill Stevens.
Mac, I had a talk with several of the crew chiefs here before the second round, and unless something really unpredictable happens, you can expect just about everybody with lane choice to pick the left lane. The crew chief for Bob Vandergriff, Ray Alley, took me out to the launching pad to show me why. On the right side, right at the starting line, there are ball spots where the rubber has worn away. And that really diminishes the traction for the cars on that side of the track. He brought me over to the left side and showed me there's much more rubber over there, and he said, you know, you got to remind people, we don't run on concrete, we run on rubber. Let's go to Alan Reinhart.
Jim Head, better to be lucky than good sometimes.
I'll tell you, we haven't had a lot of luck this year, Alan, but we'll take that one for sure. When you're running the world's best, you need some luck.
You didn't expect that about either one of these cars.
I'll tell you, Alan didn't expect it. I didn't expect it. And I'll guarantee you there'll be some changes going back there in the stage link right now.
We'll have to check in with Bill and see how many of those clutch boxes are opening up back there.
Shelley, what's he talking about? Clutch box.
Clutch box. These crew chiefs are back there. They're changing their timers of when the clutch comes in. They have to. This track's gone away. The heat's been on it all day. I think they're pretty even.
Let's see what Lee Beard has worked up for a little bit of magic for Kenny Bernstein. Lee, of course, the crew chief on that car. Bernstein up against Tony Schumacher. If you like speed, you're going to love this one. Bernstein, of course, the first driver over 300 miles an hour. Tony, the fastest ever at 330 and the fastest on this racetrack at 320 miles an hour.
Number 2 and number 6 in points. Somebody's going to make a move right now.
Kenny Bernstein trying to keep pace with Mike Dunn, and in fact, should Mike lose a little bit later this round and Bernstein win, hey, it's going to be awful close. Well, the racetrack got the best of Bernstein, smoked the tires, while Tony Schumacher, look at that. The lane that was not the one of choice just yielded a 4.64 at 317 miles an hour. Dan Olson, the head wrench for Tony Schumacher, did his work inside the clutch box and on the fuel delivery system, because that's a nice run.
That was a great run. Top end, that speed 317 on this hot track. We saw Tony, he picks up the last eighth of the mile. He goes fast.
And look at him streak ahead of a tire-smoking Kenny Bernstein. Our camera mounted on the wing strut on the Budweiser car, giving you a view not only of the engine, but the opposite lane as well. We have a lot more coming your way. Round number 2, Top Fuel Racing at the Autolite Nationals. Stick around. ESPN Speed World coverage of the 12th annual NHRA Autolite Nationals is being brought to you by Pennzoil with Pure Base, made for the way you drive. Stop, go, Pennzoil. And by Mopar, parts for Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, and Jeep vehicles from the dealerships that sell and install them. That's the Mopar difference. We're in the second round of Top Fuel competition, and the defending champ, Doug Coletta, that's him, with his crew chief, Ed McCulloch, in the lane nearest our camera. Corey McClenathan on the far side. This could be a great race. Remember, it was Coletta running 4.59 in the first round.
These are the 2 low ET cars of first round are meeting in the second round. This is going to be a great race.
Ironic that they should meet up against each other. Drop cylinders, engines exploding, and Doug Coletta drives through it all to a 4.75 at 301 miles an hour. First, I thought he may have smoked the tires, but in reality, I think it was so much raw fuel blowing out of it.
I think that's what kept these cars hooked up. You see the raw fuel coming out of the left bank of Doug's car on the left side of the screen. That is probably why he stayed hooked up. That's like loss of 700 horsepower. Corey starts to smoke the tires, and then bang, cylinders load up and it blows up.
And that cylinder dropped a couple of hundred feet off the starting line and stayed out all the way down to the finish line for Doug Coletta. Let's go to Alan Reinhart with Tony Schumacher.
Tony Schumacher is thrilled. He's going to the semis, and hey, the parachutes even came out.
Absolutely. I threw the second one just for fun after the last time putting in the sand trap. But backside, going to the semifinals for, 4th, 5th, 6th time. Who cares, man? We're here now. Car's running fantastic. I had a little problem staging. It was blinking on and off. But, man, I got to say hi to my mom, my beautiful wife, Kara, at home. I didn't get to say hi to the first round. Fantastic, man. We'll do this again.
He hasn't won one yet, but today could be the day.
Thirdly, a motivated race. Schumacher moving up the ladder in the Winston points chase. Every round win draws him closer to the leader, Mike Dunn, who faces this man, Bob Vandergrift. Let's go back down to Alan Reinhart. He's caught up with Doug Coletta.
Doug Coletta runs his record to 6-0 at Sears Point.
Yeah, the car's running good. The K-Hawk guys, can't say enough for him this weekend. Made another round and hoping to make another.
Doesn't look like it hurt itself that time.
Yeah, it was a nice clean run. Stayed, left good and made it all the way to the end. Everything, I think, is looking pretty good.
4 round wins in 98, now 2 here in 99. As Alan pointed out, 6-0. Bob Vandergrift's got to challenge that engine with Mike Dunn in front of it. And Dunn, of course, trying to keep himself ahead of the rest of the hungry boats in the Winston chase.
Bob Vandergrift with lane choice. Bob Vandergrift, number 1 qualifier. He's looking strong with Ray Alley and Johnny West.
Smoke the tires 478 at 283 miles an hour, and unless my eyes deceive me, I think Vandergrift dropped a cylinder as well, and in doing so, probably pulled enough horsepower out of it to keep him from blowing the tires off of it.
Here's the onboard shot of Mike Dunn. He's pedaling it, but he just didn't have enough.
Mike Dunn losing traction right off the starting line. That cost him a shot at Bob Vandergriff, who's 478, advances him into the semifinal round. When we come back, there's a lot more racing action coming your way in round number 2 of this, the Autolite Nationals. Stick around.